Hello children, today we will be doing our new grammar chapter 3 titled Preposition. So what is a preposition? A preposition is an important part of the English language and it is used to show a relationship between the noun and pronoun in a sentence. A preposition must always be followed by a noun or pronoun in a sentence. So they act to connect the people, objects, time and location of a sentence. They do this by expressing position and movement, possession, time and how an action is completed. Many prepositions tells you where something or when something happens. There are some types of preposition. So firstly we will be dealing with the preposition of place. So here we can see that it is used to refer to a place where something or someone is located. Given are some examples at. So when we look at this word preposition, it tells us about the place. Trinchamo is at school. I met him at the airport. It tells us about where the noun is. The word in. My book is in the bag. She's sitting in the car. Upon works in the school. So all these examples it tells us about location and place. It tells us where the position, where the nouns are. And when we look in terms of position, we use words such as under, behind, between, among, in front of. So there are some words. Such are the words that we use. So let us look at the examples. The word under. The first example, she placed the letter under the window. The cat is hiding under the bed. The keys are under the newspaper. It tells us about the position of where those objects are kept, or where those objects are. So that is the meaning of under. Now let us look at the word between, which means to show things in the middle of two things. Let us look at an example. Omar is between Rajesh and Ilishant. The word among, it shows something in the middle of two or three or more things. The teacher stood among the crowds. So if from here we can see the differences. Between is used for two people or things, while among is used for more than three people or things. So that is when we use between or among. And well, now let us look at the next preposition word, that is in front of, which means further away but not far. Now let us look at the example. He stood in front of us in the queue. I parked my car in front of my house. So in both these examples, we can see that the word he and I are some distance away from the word us and house in the first and second examples. But still they are not far from each other. So preposition of place and position. Let us remember that it tells us about the location, the place or the position where the things are or the person is. Next, the second type of preposition is the preposition of time. Here it shows us when things happened. Preposition of time tells us or shows us when things happened. Words such as at, in, on, before, after, by, and during tells us the time about when it happened. Following are some examples. We use at to show the exact time. I will meet you at 6 o'clock. And when we refer to festivals or weekends, we also use the word at. We use this to refer to a certain point of time. So here also, in order to refer to a certain point of time, we use the word at. Examples such as at 2 o'clock, for example. At 2 o'clock. Meet me at 2 o'clock, for example. So it tells us the exact timing. So in such cases, we use the word at. And the next word, the preposition word in. It is used for referring to a period of time. For example, when we are referring to something that should happen within a day. For example, again in the case of my mother told me to return in the evening. It talks about the period of day, but again it tells us when it should happen within the day. So in such cases we use in. It also talks about when something happens at some time, like in the cases of month, year, season or century, we use the word in. For example, he was born in 2000, or it rarely rains in Delhi in September. Let us remember that. So the word and at is used for specific events And occasions also, like public holidays. It is not only used for timing, but also it is used for in such cases like for public holidays, for occasions, and for events. So if word ends with the word day, we use on. For example, I met her on Christmas Day. And if in case the word does not end with the word day, we use the word at. For example, I met her at Christmas. So there's a difference. The first example ends with the word day. Therefore, we use the word here on. Again, the second example, it does not end with the word day. So that's why we use the preposition word at. So that is a difference that we have to remember. So please keep that in mind. And then the next, we must remember never to use in and at before some words. And those words are such as one, next, last, every, and each. For example, I saw the film last evening. The school will remain closed next week. So those are the examples, and those are the words where we should never use in and the word at. Now let us look at the next preposition, that is the preposition of movement. We know and we already are familiar with what the meaning of movement is. So it gives us about movement or direction, and some of the words which gives us idea about movement are out of, down, do, round, along, past, off, over, up, from. So some of the examples given to supplement those words are as follows. The little girl fell off the swing. The thief jumped over the wall. The cat climbed up the wall with one leap. He ran from the classroom to the playground. So all this tells us about the movement and the direction where the person or the thing is heading to. So we at least get the notion, the idea of where those things are, or where those things or people or person are headed to. So that is the preposition of movement. Here are some key points that we have to remember. When noun is followed by the preposition word of, it will be followed by the word verb plus ing. Examples are given. She has no experience of cooking. Here the word experience is an abstract noun followed by the preposition word of. So when we have noun followed by preposition word of, we use verb plus ing. Next, in the case of adjective plus preposition, preposition will come directly after the adjective. For example, he is ready for the match. Here we have he, which is a noun, followed by the adjective ready. And so we have to remember that preposition will always come right after the adjective, which means adding more meaning or modifies the noun or the pronoun. So next, in the case of verb plus preposition, we have to add the preposition right after the verb. Given in the examples are waited and depend, which is a verb, followed by the verb for and on. So to sum up with, preposition tells us the position, location, time of person or things, and there are the three types of preposition, which are the preposition of place and position, the preposition of time, the preposition of movement. So we have to remember that. So preposition in a way it tells us about the position, the location, time of person or things. So that is all about preposition.